Okay, I hope we're live.
I suspect we will be. Okay, all the
Arc
sounds are going. We didn't break
to
anything.
Arc. All the sounds are moving.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Arc to Arc, the only show that
Tells you the
is
truth
based in my bedroom. Yeah.
The only show that's based.
only show that's based and cringe.
Yeah. In equal measures.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Was anyone else expecting him to turn into a big centipede? I was not.
Nope. Can't say I'm thrilled that it happened.
Really?
No.
You sound bitter and angry, and not just about this manga.
more than usual, or
yeah.
Yeah, I always feel the same. It's just the reasons that change. You know, much like the characters in Tokyo Ghoul. This is what I said was going to happen. It's an improvement in quality, but by way of the ending having nothing to do with most of the manga. He's just not. He doesn't even care anymore. He's just like, you know what? Yeah. This is now an urban fantasy with giant monster battles where people defy the law of conservation of mass, like in Resident Evil, and they turn into big slug monsters whenever I want them to, and people have to carve them out of them. And it's a huge war of all against all, and there's ghouls, and everyone teams up. And
I want to make a meme.
This is now nothing to do with the original Tokyo Ghoul. This is just him doing a practice run for an actual good manga that's going to come later.
I want to make a meme, which is like the water tank sprouting water, and then his hand says RC cells, and he slaps the fucking plaster on the lake. It's like, there's a giant sir, it's turned into Pacific Rim. Yes, well, you see, RC cells are made of the telomeres, and they're all taken out of Rize, who was the birthing whore of the Washus, who came from the Middle East. I'm like, what? I
thought we were finally done with Rize, and it's just he has his I don't know,
waifu.
Luke Skywalker in the cave of Dagobah scene where he's confronting his darkness, and Rize just resurrects as his spirit guide. It's just some dumb whore who was standing next to you years ago to girder hit her. That's all that happened.
This was all by my design.
Why can't he see, I don't know, his mother or like any of the other people who died? Why not Amina or something?
No, because all the little twinks were made out of Rize. They were made out of Rize chunks.
Why don't they just fight a 300-foot tall Rize at the end? Like, at this point, fuck it. Why not?
I mean that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I'm going to become the Joker.
Becoming Furuta.
Cut to Green putting on makeup and a clown wig. I'm Furuta.
This stretch is comfortably above average for Tokyo Ghoul Re, but the inverse consequence of that is it is now just its own manga. This is every section of Re we've read.
Isn't this what you wanted? You got what you wanted.
Every portion of Re reads like it's like we were in a multiverse where Ishida tried to write this manga 7 different ways, and we cut different chunks out of the different universes version of this manga and just smashed them together.
He's a man full of ideas, and by God, he's gonna put them in this fucking manga.
Ideas like clown and backflip and Rize.
RC cell. Well, fuck you, because I really like this stretch. It had some of the coolest moments.
I'm surprised it's not short for Rize's cute cells.
Damn it, I think it is. Yeah. Okay, it did start off a bit. You know, whenever they start talking about the stuff in the CCG offices, I'm like, oh no. But it only lasted for like 2 chapters, and then we got cool as soon as it cut to Tsukiyama and he was fucking screaming and being like,
yeah, it's
fuck.
like the best Tsukiyama stuff.
Yeah.
I did write that I do like the Tsukiyama panel where
continues
he's
to be
flipping out.
the best character. I love him. He just gets better and better. I like him falling on the floor. I like him fucking screaming, everyone shut the fuck up, and then crying. Take some balls to say, am I the only one who wants to see him happy in front of his pregnant wife, I will say.
Take even more balls to fantasize about eating his children.
Him and his child, and then bringing up the baby name list.
God.
Kenny Kaneki was his top choice.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not the best with Japanese either.
There's so much in this stretch, which I don't dislike it in principle, but it's just so disconnected from what came before it, and it's just such an awkward setup. I honestly feel like he should take the first 20 chapters and the last 20 chapters and just redo the middle.
I will talk a little bit about what happened next time once we finish, because I feel like we have to finish the story first, and then we get some extra info.
Okay. Sure, that sounds good.
Yeah, I like the 2 completely wordless chapters that we have. They're like really cool.
What?
The chapters without any dialogue. There's 2 chapters here that have no dialogue. Like the first one.
I thought you said worthless.
Yeah, I thought you said worthless too.
I said worthless. That's just.
I like the completely worthless chapters. Oh yeah, I love the.
Why would I like them?
The Toka digging chapter was fucking incredible. Had such good artwork. I was like, fuck, man. To think he was the guy who drew the jank-looking Rize all those years ago.
Now he looks Rize, whose silhouette looks like a dick.
Yeah, she was like, I noticed that. She was fucking hourglass the fuck out. Yeah.
I actually wrote that she's shaped like a bone in the cartoon.
Yeah,
like that a dog would bury.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just suddenly has the fattest ass.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That stood out.
Why didn't Kaneki grow the fattest ass when he got her organ?
Good question, frankly.
Tsukiyama would love that.
There was a lot of stuff I liked, but there was so much stuff I'm trying to remember. One thing I liked was the creepy centipede around the tower was just in the background of most shots. Like people were talking around the city. When Kano popped himself off gang styly, it was like in the background, and he did the pose. He did the Ishida pose before he killed himself. It was funny. He did the like 80-degree tilt, look up at the sky for a second.
Yeah,
man. What else happens?
Yeah. So I guess, but the gist of this, other than Kaneki turn into a giant monster, that's the impetus for both sides going, man, we need to team up and both fight the giant monster together, ghoul hunters and ghouls. And
Nani?
Sure, why not? It doesn't really...
Let's fight the monster more like get Kaneki out.
Yeah.
Like, the monster at that point is dormant, and then when they start
same
then the other little... The other little.
I give Jaws 15 points.
Yeah.
The fucking. I do like that. Suzuya shows up, and he's like, "I'm not so sure." And then the guy's just like, "Suzuya, shut up." And he's like, "Okay." And then everyone's like, "Well, Suzuya's joining." Fuck.
That's actually like a really good scene.
That's a good moment. I'm just being facetious.
Yeah, I know. But I just want to say that I really like that scene because, like, at the beginning, Suzuya is not sure what to do, and Maruto just tells him, "You're an adult now. Decide for yourself." And I think
that's you're your own man. Stop thinking about Coma guy.
Yeah.
And we got a similar scene with that Aura guy too. They're like, "Your aunt is down there in a wheelchair, and you're being a bitch." And he was like, "Damn it."
It's strange that, as a prelude to the team up, we get a bunch of ghouls walking up to the CCG people.
Yeah.
in masks, and they all throw their masks in the air like graduation caps.
Was a cool,
and it's a fun visual. I
yeah.
did find myself thinking, did they put their masks on just to throw them off?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because most of those characters would not have been wearing masks 5 minutes before then.
That's true.
Yeah, I think they did that intentionally.
It's like Megumin with her eye patch. Like, if she's not wearing it, she puts it on. If she's wearing it, she takes it off.
There we go.
I mean, it looked good in terms of art, but it's just way too convenient and easy how it works out for me.
Well,
that was most simple.
Luckily, that doesn't matter as much as how cool the art looks.
Well, I am glad that we're just moving into the conclusion and we don't have to worry about these things as much. Ishida really should have decided what type of manga he wanted to make, because now we're just all over. Now we're doing shonen, talk no jutsu, power of heart and friendship team up against the greater threat scenes.
I'm gonna say, if you've been at this point, how long had he been making this manga? Like 8 years, maybe something like that. Like I'm gonna say your mind might change throughout those 8 years and realizing what kind of art you want to make.
Something I'm gonna bring up next time,
because that happens to me
good
between
for him.
months of chapters, so let alone years. I'd be like, fuck.
He literally developed back pains in the time between Tokyo Ghoul and this.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun just seeing. I mean, yeah, I really do think your complaint is correct, where it's like, if the middle just got tightened up, it would make this so much better. Because like so much of the stuff that we were complaining about, like not happening, was just like delayed response. Like we said that last time too. It was just like it's not like it wasn't happening. It's just it was taking longer to happen than we would have liked, because we were like, God damn it. When is it going to happen? Even a long time ago, I said, like, I would like them to do something different than just have, like, you know, everyone plan things, big Ghoul CCG fight. And it happened. They had a joint venture metal detector party looking for a guy in a worm. That's different. I haven't seen them do that in Tokyo Ghoul yet. Yeah.
At this point, not only was the middle often bad and unnecessary, it's actively being a hindrance even now, because there's just too many fucking characters. I know I'm not the best at this, but page to page, it's hard for me to know who I'm looking at, because there's so many characters that just didn't make an impression and I completely forgot about.
It's a very, very common complaint.
And they all look the same.
And there are multiple characters who wear masks, and I don't mean just Ghoul masks. I mean, like, even within them, there's like gas mask dudes and like the like demon mask dudes and hooded figures, and it's like, is that a person I should remember? Is everyone has funny masks? Yeah. I'm gonna say one thing that was a bit convenient was during the beginning there was a lot of like sweeping under the rug of like stuff from earlier, where it was like the ones that stood out to me was like Yomu gets like saved, and then like Bar Lady and what's his face
Mask Maker Uta?
Yeah, the Uta are there, and I'm just like, aren't those guys evil clowns? And then they're like, oh, we infiltrated the clowns. And I'm like, oh.
I mean, they are clowns. They're saying.
I know, but it's like they were like he was with Furuta he was with Furuta invading, you know, Kaneki's hideout and being like murder, and now they're like helping out Yomu, who was actively against him, and just be like, yeah, it's cool. And then also we had just like a funny conversation between Ui and Furuta, where Furuta's just like, oh, I was full of shit. And Ui's like, yeah, I know. Yeah. I was like, fuck, I resigned. See ya. It just fucks up. I'm just like, okay, we're just not gonna even. And also, they kind of hand wave to the. I'm just like, I'm not even mad about these. It's just funny how like they got resolved so quickly. Same thing with like Ui and the Artemis Squad Zero, where they're just like, we were fighting for real, but then this centipede thing happened, so we're cool now. And Mustachio Guy is like, I knew you were being coerced or something. It's like, what?
I like how Amon is just kind of running around in the midst of this. It's not even that big a deal.
Amon shut up, and there's a couple of people being like, isn't that the guy who died? And they're like, yep, anyway. Yeah. Yeah. And, oh, it's that intern who used to get pizza for us. I guess he's a guy now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we forgot to mention that
He's
reveal
back.
last time that
He was
is
the
alive.
Scarecrow Man the whole time.
Yes.
Wow. My mind is the connections. It's all about connections.
Yeah,
all
it's like
about
I have to
connecties.
think about the red letter media thingy. No one is ever truly gone, and
Yeah.
that's Tokyo Ghoul in a nutshell.
No one's ever really gone. It took me so long to realize that fucking, speaking of what Green was saying, it took me like 2 chapters to realize that like Kano's assistant chick, I know you've explained this before, but she keeps changing appearance, is the same. Like, just to think that was the girl who was like sitting on Nishiki's lap in like chapter 10.
Yes.
She looks completely different. She looks like fucking, she looks more like Hinami now. And I was like, oh, right. And then Nishiki just shows up and is like, my girl. It's like, oh, right. How long has it been since these guys have seen each other? Fuck.
Good
Like 6
lord.
years.
6 years, good God. My college girlfriend I haven't seen for 6 years.
Like 4 or 5.
I gotta say, if there was one thing that I didn't like in this stretch was just focusing on characters I didn't care about. I get the, like, I'm sure to the one person who's really into Nishiki and Kimi, the whole, like, backstory of her being like, the reason I joined Kano was because so that we could be a couple together and be. I'm like whatever. I don't even remember you, bitch. And then especially the fight between like Aura and the 2 other Qs. I'm like, these guys are not characters.
It's a problem that Ishida like really did not do much with the 2nd generation Queens. They're like very wasted.
I think
characters.
I think he's doing a thing where they're characters he cares about because he came up with them and he sees them differently, but he hasn't conveyed that well as he has done with so many other characters, which I do care about. Like I was the Urie Mutsuki psycho fight is like one of the best things ever, and I'm like, and they cut away from it for a bit to fight for like this no name dude and the lady who kicks, she's kicking him. It was like, we spent way too little time with the new Qs. They're barely characters. I want to go back to my old boys, the original Qs, the reason I liked Ree to start with. Yeah,
Speaking of which, one of the scenes that, I don't know, more was happening is Kaneki and Mutsuki in the flashback.
Yeah.
What did you think about that? Because it was interesting in how she responded to it, because she was showing a long time ago when he was still high C. He walked in and she had her tits out and she kind of nervously looked away and he was like, oh, ha ha ha, and he looked away and pretended to not see and just kind of wandered off. And the quickness with which he went into sparing her feelings, she interpreted that as meaning he had known she was a girl the whole time and tried to spare her feelings and then lied to it, and this led to her feeling a deep connection with him, and she's been secretly in love with him since then, I guess, or obsessed with him.
That's like it.
Which, a little weird to do that in a flashback. I feel like that would be better a little earlier.
Probably did not plan that from the start.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm hearing Joss say this.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
I mean, I can say that, and can also say that he planted like little hints about Mutsuki being uncomfortable about Heise and Toka's interactions. Like, if you go back to that chapter, you can see it a little bit. So he planned a little bit, but I don't think that he planned.
I did
this
notice
particular
he touched his face when he was lying to her. In the flashback when he pretended not to see, he was touching his chin.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's genius.
It was. You gotta
it rhymes.
When you see it, it
pottery.
rhymes. It's pottery.
Yeah.
The only thing is I'm puking in stanzas.
I like that scene,
I don't know what that means.
A lot of people are like really unhappy about that. Mutsuki
Really?
basically gets off scot-free. Yeah, they all want Mutsuki to die. Like,
Oh, I
a lot of people hate
I
Mutsuki.
don't give a shit about that at this point. Like, we've gone
Josh, I
so
don't wanna be
fucking
mean, but
past the event horizon. It's like, who gives a shit that she maybe stabbed someone and was a bit mean in some fights.
At this point, I just assume every fan of this except you is a stupid dipshit, because at every point you said, well, the fandom universally has this really bad opinion. It's like, okay, Jaws. And you've said that 5 times now, I think.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
More than that. Like, I mean,
Not
same
a-
with,
That's
a
true.
primo
That's
fan
true of
base.
everything I like. Everyone else who likes it is retarded. If you like the things I like, I don't like you. They're my things. Yeah, I like them, right? Yeah.
They like it in the wrong way.
They do.
yeah. It's also true with both of you once again saying that you like the stretch more than what came before. Like at these last three arcs, if you call it like that, with the gold base raid.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
are like the least favorite arcs.
I
or
mean,
the
that's
most,
not even
contentious arcs.
that's not even that mysterious to me, because from my perspective, he's giving up on the fool's errand of trying to endlessly stretch it out by just dumping plot complexity on top of itself.
I guess.
And going, oh, okay, these things people care about, I better come up with a resolution. So he's forcing himself to cast aside all the worthless horseshit he invented in the middle and go back to things that are actually interesting. So it's like, that's a very uncharitable way to put it. I think it's like it almost forces him to get back to something that is going to be better.
It's like it seems to be the average. The people who made Tokyo Ghoul huge and gave it such big popularity and stuff like it as almost like a straightforward shonen thing, and that's like the least interesting aspect of it. Like, what makes it really cool is all the ways in which it's different. It's almost like they fucking like took a really artistic, creative guy and forced him to make a shonen or something. it's like it was fucking like handcuffed to a chair.
Meow.
Now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Right after that, I don't remember exactly why I did this. I think it's because of Psycho, but I just wrote peas is the noblest pursuit. I assume that's because Psycho was kind of acting very innocent and going, "Oh,
Yeah,
we
both
need to not
both
fight,"
Uriye
or something.
and Psycho let
Oh
themselves
yeah, she
get
was like
stabbed.
screaming, "You're my family!"
Yeah, they
at
got
everyone.
stabbed and they were like, "We love you. Stop."
She was yelling, "Oh, Hana!"
And she was saying, she was like, I miss Mama and too at the end. She was very emotional. She had a big mouth this chapter. She had many big mouths, actually. Yeah.
She was also like one of the first of the CCG people to say that she wants
she
to
lifted
join.
her. She lifted her hand. I mean, it was kind of funny that the first few people to lift their hands were all half ghouls anyway. It's like, well, no shit. Oh, what a surprise! The dangerous experimental ghoul faction doesn't mind working with ghouls. You don't say. Yeah. Look at her big face. I will never accept blue hair, the fucking Yonabayashi Psycho, whatever.
It looks fine.
I just never imagined her like that. And I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm just saying in my head she always had kind of like brown chestnut hair.
I always imagine her hair kind of reddish, but
yes, or more close to that than Ishida tells me is blue. I don't buy it. Damn.
Yeah, I don't. My notes are not helpful past this because
It's
one
all
note
just
is
exclamation marks.
Well, in all caps, it's fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
That's Rize showing up. Yeah.
Then in all caps, it's Rize's butt is suddenly huge, and then at the very end, it's fuck you, but I wrote it as one very long word.
This is like the.
Why would I do that?
This is
what
like
happens at the end that's really bad?
This is like the WoW signal, but for green. It's like you go through his notes, you know. You see the fuck you. Oh, this is the Rize moment. Yeah. You probably did that because it ends on a cliffhanger, I guess. This section we read.
No, probably because Rize is back in the real
Oh
world,
yeah,
so
she's
to speak.
reborn, and Furuto's like my waifu.
Yeah.
She's an angel's egg now. Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Hey, he said this was his plan. he said all along he just wanted to fuck Rize, and by God, he's really gone and done it.
Yeah, that Rize pussy got me acting strange.
Got me turning into the Joker. It's fucking.
Unironically, that's what happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah. But what do you think about like the internal Carnegie stuff? Because I really like that stuff.
I like that stuff. I always like when they go into the people's heads. I like that more than like most of the fucking Kagune bashing. No matter how cool it can look, he did a good job. I like the cool visuals. It got very cool. Reminded me of like I was getting vibes of like lots of. I don't know. I remembered at the time like lots of stuff that wasn't even like. I don't know. I was gonna think of like Ava stuff, but even stuff outside of like anime and manga. Like I was thinking like for some reason like all the people falling down in like this big pile kind of reminded me of like some panels from like Little Nemo and stuff. It was very, very creative, very interesting comic making. Like I liked all the panel layouts and stuff was very cool. I mean, it really felt like mastery. I mean, you could say he's been like obviously super proficient for a long time, but like this stretch had a lot of really impressive pages where I was like, this really is just like he is like so good at this by now. It's kind of fun like thinking back where we started, especially seeing Rize and stuff. I was like, damn, except for the dog bone shaped one, but other ones.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I think you might have been you who brought it up, given that Ishida said at some point that he really like didn't like how he drew Rize in the early parts, and he really wanted to correct it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's a fine impulse. Yeah, I really like all the speech.
It's fucking hilarious that he refused. He has this irresistible desire to correct how he drew Rize, but correcting how he used her in the story never once occurred to him.
You can't do that because that would like mess up.
He could stop like making it worse.
You know.
Just saying.
I like their conversation a lot, though.
Yes, like that you finally get the final missing piece.
Yeah,
Carnegie's
her
psychological
her like hitting him with all these questions was really cool, and it kind of bringing up that thing you were saying last time about how he's not very a good leader. Like he just kind of like runs into things with no plan, and then has caused like a bunch of problems for everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, it was some heavy hitting stuff. I enjoyed all that. Yeah, like I was thinking like, yeah, Tsukiyama stuff, the Mutsuki stuff, and this was all very strong highlights. And her digging Kaneki out too. That whole chapter was very good.
Also, once again, one of the funniest stuff with Tsukiyama's father, who's just friends with the prime minister, who also is a ghoul.
Yeah, he calls him on the Powerpuff Girls hotline directly into his office, and is like,
I mean,
it was kind of. I will say it felt weird because getting a shit ton of metal detectors didn't seem to me like this big outlandish thing that the CCG couldn't afford. Like, they're just metal detectors. It's not like they said, get me 50 aircraft carriers for me to fucking shoot at this thing. It's like get me we need 200 metal detectors. How in the hell would we ever do that? You're crazy. There aren't 200 metal detectors in all the world.
It's in all of Japan.
It's like, wow. That's what the dad said. He's like, we're just two Japanese citizens, right, or something. Yeah.
I will say, if you asked me to get a metal detector and told me I had 30 minutes to do it, I wouldn't know where to go.
Amazon.
Fair.
If I had 30 minutes
1
to get
second
a metal
delivery.
Detector,
they can do they can do a 10-minute delivery if you pay enough. Yeah. I don't know. Probably some sports shop or something. No, fishing.
Sports shop.
I don't know.
Another thing that I find like interesting in terms of conclusion is that Kano essentially wins. Like he gets his win condition. I mean, well, it doesn't matter to him because he just kills himself. Like he's like been this dead man walking. Like his like he always wanted to save his mother and couldn't, but then he just did everything so that maybe in the future Ghoul medicine come about, like that it cannot be ignored anymore.
I mean, it's
So,
hilarious that he like turns a kind of a plot inconsistency in the world building into a motivation for a character. Like, it never made much sense to only use this technology for kinkays, essentially. And then Kano's points out how that's kind of dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was implied that it was pretty much the working of the Washu. Since they are ghouls,
okay.
they don't want like people to know about ghoul biology and stuff. So
I wash you my hands of that subplot.
Yeah, Washu is becoming a new trigger word for me. Nothing good comes when that word shows up in the comic. So yeah, Kaneki's all fucked up. He's a weird ghoul man. And then
he is not beyond human and ghoul. He's something else.
Yeah.
Like, there's this little moment he says, "Oh, he has organs and we have no idea what they do."
Become a creature from the dark continent.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended with him getting up, and is he good?
Yeah,
is he bad?
We started with him becoming dragon, and I ended it with him getting up.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't have much
There's
else to say. What do you have to say?
There's really not that much to say. It's just
I enjoyed it.
We're approaching the end.
One more stretch.
Yeah.
This is us next week.
Yeah, like they know we out here.
Okay. Shall we move on to a different manga?
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. To your eternity, I think.
To your entertainment.
Yeah, to your eternity. Jaws, do you want to start with your thoughts here?
I can start. Yeah, I think this has been my least favorite stretch so far.
Huh.
In this manga. The reason for that is like it feels. I mean, it's very much a transitional arc.
Yeah.
Like it's part is just an epilogue to the previous arc, and that's the stuff I like the most this time around. But especially the beginning with Pioran and him being on the island, like that didn't do much for me. The Pioran stuff has like a few good things, like him dealing with her death, just stuff like that. But it's like it's not a thing that I really enjoyed much. And then after we the sort of epilogue to the previous arc, we then have him just basically spending his time for 100 years or so in cities and just collecting stuff and occasionally encountering the next generation.
Well, that's the most interesting part, probably. Pioran gets a nice send off. I like that. I enjoy his thing of like his first reaction kind of to everything that's happened to him is he is becoming like hedgehog dilemmaed, that he doesn't want to get near people because not only is there the knocker thing, but also he just knows that they're just gonna die probably even if he doesn't cause it, and then it's just gonna hurt. And it's sad seeing her go. We do get a cool. I really like that scene where she sees the weird, whatever the fuck he is, the cloaked figure, and then we get like a little vision of her as a young lady. Yeah,
but she also said she wants to reincarnate as something else.
She says she wants to be. We have not seen it yet. We only see this vision. I mean, we find out. Yeah, that's the big thing of this arc is like reincarnation is just a thing.
Yep.
And the dude just breaks down like the human soul, and I guess someone's will is strong enough they can. Fucking Hayase's fucking horniness is so powerful. Yeah. She passed it down like 8 generations.
That's the best part about this stretch is just how fucking obsessed Hayase is that it even goes into the future. But the problem with that is it makes Hayase as a character even better, and she was already good, but it diminishes like the the quality of all her successors. Like
I wouldn't say
like
all of them. I think Hisame is really good. I mean,
some of them are write-offs, but that's fine.
Some of them are write-offs on purpose. I love.
Not every single person in this has to be, because kind of the implication is because she starts, she tries to reincarnate as her own grandchild, which is the idea of just pointing at your pregnant daughter and saying, "Yep, I'll just slip right in there." That idea is a little interesting, but. She starts doing this chain reincarnation. It's actually not 100% clear if Hayase's soul is continually reincarnating down the line, or if she just did it once and now it's just her grandkids.
I think it's always her soul, but the memories are different. So that's what he was saying.
They're not the same people, but they have the same soul.
They have the same.
The implication is that, her family, she bullies them so hard that they just become this weak-willed group of people
it's like
that
a weird
unconditionally do what she wanted.
Too, and they pass down like a weird organ as well. It's more complicated.
It's like a religion.
I mean, like John said, this isn't really an arc, but I couldn't find a good splitting off point because this is before the Euralis thing, which is like
makes
bigger.
Sense
but if we take this as an arc, what I like about this section is I like that it breaks away from like what the structure has been so far, in that not every section is going to be like him meeting a person and spending all their time with them and befriending them, and then the knockers come and there's a big disaster bit. This is like him there's lots of weird relation things going on in here. Like, first of all, him just like deciding to just like stay away from humans for 40 years, and we got a funny backstory where he was a fish and he has fishy friends. He has like fishy friends he names, and then he's just like hunting knockers, casually eating them, and just being like, what have I done with my life? And then I just love all the interactions. They're so fucking funny with him and Hisame. Like, it's not just like a reincarnation thing. It's like she was like taught to hug him when she saw him, and then we get. I just like all the interactions and the dynamic of that were so funny. Like him he's being like a weird dick to her and being like, "You're so indoctrinated," and you're like, it's a weird situation because it's like. We know Hayase was like a messed up evil weirdo who did murder people just like who were innocent for no reason, but the way that interaction goes out is really interesting because she's like more mature than Fushi, so she's like handling it very well, especially considering she's 9. And then Fushi's like trying to be a dick and be like, "You're fucking, the whole worldview is a lie and you're stupid and I hate you." And she's being like, "I understand. I was taught this would happen. It's fine. I shall continue." It is a very weird dynamic for like a 40-year-old man and this 9-year-old to have.
This is a big turning point for the manga.
Yeah.
I did not know. I mean, I was already talking about the last few times. I did not know it was going to go so 0 to 80 with a constant stream of obnoxiously cute girls. I didn't think it was going to be one of those.
And with the time, the time stretch, like you don't. It's so far it's skipped ahead like 1 year, 4 years. Suddenly it's like 40 plus 80. Yeah, it's like what the hell? It just gets crazier and crazier from here.
It's just ascending into high art at this point.
Yeah,
because
it's very strange.
The mature but attractive villain of the previous arc immediately just comes back, and she's her, but she's like a young, adorable girl, and she's still wearing the military outfit. And it's like, oh my god, like he's
perfect.
Or this author is not going to slow down. She is just going to keep doing
It's crazy
this.
It's a she, considering some of the stuff. Fucking
it doesn't shock me that it's a girl, but
I'm just saying it's kind of funny.
A little bit.
You wouldn't be mistaken for thinking it, for not realizing it was a woman. That was so funny last time because you guys were being like, "Man, I'm sad the Hayase got killed by the knocker on the boat. That sucks." and then she shows up as a lolly with a knocker in her arm. It's like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. Oh man, and then we get really cool interaction. I love this fucking drawing so much. So funny. I love her giant sword too. We get really good when they go into the town, whatever, and there's an old lady who looks kind of familiar.
You don't really need to be coy about this.
Okay, fine.
I mean, I guess I can't.
Did you recognize her right
talk
away?
Too much shit because no, I didn't.
I mean, she looks
I
quite
thought
different.
he was a descendant of her first. Like I thought,
you don't know how
for
much.
some reason I thought more time had passed, but yeah, I thought it was a descendant.
Yeah,
of
I think
Tonari
it's been 40 years. We know
stupid.
because that's how long Fushi was on.
Yeah.
So she was 14, so now she's like 54. Yeah.
I think I forgot that the other guy lived and looked like that. So when I saw two of them together, I don't know, it dulled my suspicion. But then when she said, like, oh, right, that guy was alive and with her. God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
It was amazing that he manages to go through this entire arc without realizing who it is. Yeah. And then at the very end, he looks at her hand and is like, oh, shit.
And he's got them. And when he turns into her, he gets her book, which is a cute touch.
Right.
Yeah. And she spent her entire life developing a superpower just for him.
Which is funny.
That's like a pattern.
Which is because Hayase said kind of the same thing too. She didn't say she did this explicitly for him, but she was like she also wanted to become one of Fushi's like personas to be strong for him, and and it's interesting too because Fushi could turn into her now, like presumably, like he knows she's dead and she left an impression on him, obviously. So, but he said like he would never do it. And in fact, he probably could turn into every generation of the chicks, unless it's like, or it could be something. I'm not sure because I haven't gotten that far. Maybe it's something like if the soul is still continuously alive, then he can't turn into them. I'm not sure.
Well, no, I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't think that makes sense. Because the black hooded guy specifically says, like the soul leaves the body and he can only turn into dead thing. So it's probably the absence of the soul that lets him turn into it.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get this. There's it's like two vying factions because the weird Hayase cult wants him to just be like the Messiah.
I'm not sure if I remember this right, but didn't like one of the successors say that they basically have an entire country that's devoted to them?
Yeah, they say they've managed to. It's unclear if they've made their own country or if they just like went into a country and converted the majority of the country. That seems more likely. It's probably a small country, but still, yeah. By the end, I mean, 120 years is a long time. I guess it was already kind of. I mean, even back on the prison, back on Jananda, he was already becoming kind of like a weird deity figure where people were kind of like not worshipping him, but in awe of him, and that's what the Hayase guys kind of wanted, was for everyone to see how good Fushi was and that he needed to be protected by her. And what's her face? Owl chick says like. Tonari is like they just want to possess you, and that's very interesting because it's like that seems creepy, but also on the other hand, that's just like an extension of Hayase's love, basically, where she's just like very possessive stalker sort of, and like the cult continues her will to just like retain Fushi as just theirs. Yeah, it was very funny.
She just kind of overwrote her entire family legacy just to accomplish one very narrow goal.
Indeed. Man.
Also, with the poison stuff, I did notice in the previous arc that Tonari was not knocked out by the sleeping stuff as long.
Yeah, that's right. She woke up. She woke up quite early. That's right.
And it was rectified in this stretch that she had basically accidentally build a resistance to this poison.
Yeah, which is cool.
This also keeps annoying me. I understand this is just a coincidence and it's such a weird one, but she keeps saying, the Western Morning Glory.
Yeah.
I have done the drug that is inside of Morning Glories, and it did not knock me out instantly. I'm just going to say that. Maybe in this universe, I would also be immune to the poison. Just going to say
maybe.
Yeah, every now and again, it's just weirdly specific for you, and it's one of those. I was. I don't know if bummed is the right word. I was expecting Hisami to hang out for longer.
Yeah, me too. I liked her so much.
Because her whole thing was being super persistent and following him around. Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be a thing where they hang out for a couple days and then she just leaves, and 20 years later the next person shows up.
Yeah, she's more like the prototype for then this like a bunch of generations. Yeah, it is, because I think all of her scenes are like really strong. Like I really like her like being this little official, like just like having all this responsibility on her, and then just like, but then also having this like uncontrollable thing in her, like the way the way that thing like crawls her away, like the thing, and then Fushi just finds her like in the middle of the woods, and she's all like battered and crying, and she doesn't remember what the fuck she did, and he takes pity on her. And then you get the really fun scene with them. Speaking of pottery rhyming, it's funny that the whole time Fushi told Tonari not to hang around him because she'd get fucking killed by a knocker, and lo and behold, hanging around Fushi gets you killed by a fucking knocker instantly. Stop doing this. But
we also get the...
I was gonna say we get a really sad scene with the bedside, where Fushi is turning into all the people, and he realizes, I mean, he has been on the island for 40 years, but it's sad seeing him. Boozman is dead. The big brother is dead. Even Rian is fucking dead. I mean, that seems quite right. That's quite young. She was like 15 when he left. She was 55. Is not messed up. And then that cute scene where he can't turn into either of them, so he's like, they're alive, and they're just like smiling, and they get to see their old friends before they go. Before she goes, I guess he doesn't. Yeah. It's sad.
Fuck, what was I about to say? I wanted to say something.
Well, I'm gonna say a few things.
Go on. I want to hear.
The metaphysics of this show, or of this story, are interesting to me.
Yeah.
They're dualistic. Mind and soul and matter are two separate things, but it also phrases it as neither of them is really complete on its own. They go ahead to say, oh yeah, there is a soul that is separate from the body, but it doesn't really mean anything outside of the body. If you take souls out of the body, they just become this abstract essence, and you have to put them back in for it to really mean anything. It's like, that's interesting. Also, the cloak guy understanding death enough that he can talk to Pioran and have a conversation about it, and he can even seem to control her, where her soul goes, and usher her into the next world. I really wonder if they're ever going to explain what this guy is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it seems like they're getting very, very abstract with what he can do.
He's like, initially it seemed like he could be more of just like a very strong like wizard or something. But the fact that he can just like hang around for like hundreds of years and just like watch Fushi on an island like he has nowhere to be. He's just like observing this, like he's like an alien just observing the development of a life form. Here is very strange. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, my current theory is probably something like Fushi is meant to be some kind of terraforming device, and he's going to be sent to barren planets and turn them into worlds where Fushi's almost going to be like a god of a planet at some point.
But he did say he was meant to be like a recording device almost, so it almost seems like the opposite.
Yeah.
Like a world that's going to die out, send someone there to like capture all the elements of life there, and then they get to be saved when the planet is destroyed.
I think it's well, that's kind of what I mean. I think it's almost a Noah's Ark thing where Fushi's going to be this seed that's used to transplant, an Earth type world onto some other planet.
It also
or maybe Earth again after an apocalypse. I don't know.
Well, that kind of idea, that seems to be something that the story would go for. That idea of like of almost like a cyclical time, like of like Earth's being born and going through human history and then disappearing and then a new one being born, because it seems weird that this would be the first time this has happened, like it seems like the Fushi could be an experiment out of many that have happened on other worlds. And if considering the timescales where they put in pretty early in this one, it seems like it might just be a thing of like this world continues to its logical end, and then there's another world is born, and then humans start over again from cavemen to, and just as like the Wheel of Time or something.
Yeah, it's
I remember what I
interesting.
wanted to say. Like we also get the evolution of knocker behavior, where previously they were just targeting Fushi. Now they just target cities and places in general because they know that Fushi will show up.
That's right. Yeah, clever.
Yeah, that ties it the Guardians who know this and try to protect.
And they learn. Yeah, and they know to also perform symbiosis with humans to their mutual benefit. Like, it's handier for them to go around in like a human vessel and become like kind of, like a joint thing with the human for them too. Yeah.
Is it? I thought it was only for the generation.
No, the guy has it. The guy has it at the end too.
The guy?
Yeah, the male. The
Hayase's
Hayase.
knocker becomes an heirloom that goes from generation to generation.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. I thought you meant the way you described it sounded like the knockers in generally.
I don't know if they're not. I don't know if there's more people back.
Okay, that's what it sounded like. Because I thought it was only that one.
I guess it could just be that one. I'm not. I mean, still one doing it would still be a mutation in the species.
Still a change.
Fuck, I was going to say something really cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
A few other things.
Yeah.
Later in the story, I do really like the scene where he goes to a town and he tries to get a coin to buy a roast chicken. And she says, I'll give you 1 coin for that sword. And then she said, oh, the chickens cost 3. You need 2 more swords. And he makes 2 more swords. Where Fushi is obviously being conned by someone who's trying to get him to haggle. But he just goes, oh, 3 swords for a chicken? What a reasonable price.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Trade your car for a hamburger. You have to walk back from the drive-thru. That was cool.
It is.
I'm really impressed with how the author keeps thinking of very little twists and intricacies to the power that makes sense, where he just copies books and notes and then burns them, going, I can just regenerate them whenever I want.
That's right. Yeah.
It would have been so easy to not think of that.
Yeah. I'm always. It's like the way, like we mentioned last time, that she remembered that the ramen was would make you fall asleep when he recreates. It's like she has a really keen attention to detail. Like that. I remember what I was going to say, which was just the last thing about the hooded guy. That kind of figure is just risky to put in your story because it needs to have a satisfying. Well, I guess you can leave it vague, but if you attempt to answer it, it better be like a really satisfying answer, or else people are going to be like annoyed and disappointed. Like it's that kind of thing where it raises so many questions that if you don't address some of them, people are going to feel let down. So yeah, that's not the case. And then we get the best panel in the manga. Truly amazing.
I'm going. Oh wait, is it on screen?
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's when Fushi is nice and rescues this knocker infected girl, and then Hayase's ultimate plan to have her progeny mate with Fushi in her stead is truly amazing.
The scene where neither of them actually know what goes into making a child, and they're just trying to guess.
That's so funny.
That was odd.
My mother said you just have to sleep with someone, and then they just like sleep next to each other, and she's like so content and happy. It's so cute.
Yeah, but you have to want to have a kid, or it doesn't work.
That's right. And then she leaves, and then the guy shows up and is like, perhaps next time it'll be your child. And he's like, no, it's okay, I slept a bit far away from her. And he's like, okay, well, you do have reproductive organs if you want to try it, go into town and fuck some bitches. And he's like,
when he
what?
says just go to town with your reproductive organs, that's the weirdest of like. No. But that's the weirdest moment of found translation wordplay. because like just go to town is a phrase for like go crazy, have fun.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then I don't even know if that was intentional or if the translator caught that.
Yeah, that's
it's just an odd pun that slips in translation.
It's funny that I can't wait for the. I mean, I'm sure I haven't. Like I keep saying, we're approaching the part where I've read, so I'm gonna need to read a few dozen chapters ahead of you guys to keep up the thing. But I have not seen Fushi have sex yet. It'll be an interesting experience because he can have it both ways, which is cool too. Because to him it'll make no difference. He doesn't see himself as particularly any gender. He just sees himself as whatever the fuck he turns into. So that'll be he could get pregnant. He could get pregnant. Yeah.
I mean, if he has, if he has kids, I wonder if it's just going to be the kid is biologically just directly whatever the form was, or if his.
That's a good question. Or maybe
I wonder if he would influence the kid in any way other than. Like, I wonder if he had sex as Gugu and fathered a kid, I wonder if there would be any difference than if Gugu directly had fathered the kid.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm interested to see. It's great that he just spends the rest of his time, like, because he can just make coins. He just, like, hangs out, just rents an expensive habitation and just lives there forever. And then just generations. That's the funniest fucking montage. Like, all the generations of Hayase's, like, they show up and they're like, hello, I'm the next one. And then he's like, okay, did you need anything? He's just like really rude and like obstinate. Like he just accepted them with like this kind of minor annoyance. And then they all like lean on him and he just like shoves them away. And then he starts turning into I can never remember her name, but yeah, Tonari to scare them off, sort of, and then finally, and then go on.
Yeah. I was gonna say he eventually admits that he's starting to like the interaction.
Yeah.
It's just funny to him.
Yeah, it's just funny to him that like these people come and are like, you're the amazing immortal we've heard of for so long, and then turns into this person that they've been told was a fucking bitch. I was also going to say it's funny that finally then a male guy shows up. Then we're like, oh, it's okay, problem solved, and then cut to as soon as he turns into a cute girl, it's like, oh no, even the male Hayases can't keep their hands off.
I forget her name. I forget the name of that form.
It's some with Panora, right? Panora, I think.
Yeah, Perona.
Okay.
I
thought it was Panora.
Oh, I'll just go with Jaws. Yeah, it is funny that he goes through great lengths to say, listen, I'm not gay, so you don't have to worry about anything, okay? Like, cool. When I have a daughter, she'll want to have sex with you, but I'm the one member of the family who doesn't.
Rail my daughter.
And then turns into Panora, and he's like, oh, look at that.
He's also really OP. I mean, he's the one who he spends long enough time with because they're not because he's not constantly trying to hug him and sleep with him, that he actually considers them like sort of friends after a while. And then we get introduced to the best character in the manga. There he is.
Yeah, I don't like him initially.
Excuse me, you're not a fan of...
We'll see.
Let's see. We're not a fan of Bonchien Nicolaila Tasty Peach Oralis. Yeah. Who just had a feeling that Fushi was immortal.
One of those weird Japanese mangaka names where they just take words and slam them together. Like
Acerola Heart Under Blood.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
saying. Maybe he'll win us over. I'm not holding my breath.
This is just...
We have not seen much.
I'm not going to say anything. The fucking... I think this is just how the Japanese view, like, European aristocracy is just like a collection of goofy names, which fair enough is pretty accurate actually. So good job. Yeah. I mean, I have a silly long name with lots of flowery sounding last names, but so I don't have any name quite as good as Peachy, but and also Fushi just goes around casually doing miracles.
I didn't really think about this before, but it's
he
like
just
remarkable
makes money.
How much of a Jesus figure he is in some ways.
It's true. Yeah.
I am
he is
predicting
kind of just
that
God put down on Earth. Yeah.
I am predicting that some kind of healing power or medical training is going to come into play at some point. Because a repeating thing is him looking at a hurt person and having no idea what to do.
Yeah.
I just suspect that'll be addressed at some point. He'll come up with a form that was a doctor, or exactly. I don't know, can emit a healing salve.
Emit a healing salve. Yeah, I mean it's hard to get forms as good as like Goo, for example, because there's not a lot of people who are gonna get their head crushed by a log and then turned into a human distiller brewery that can spit out fire. Resistance to poison is I mean that cool. It's okay, but you need to already
especially
be in that form.
Especially when it's the one poison they use over and over and over.
You need to be in that form for it to work. Like only if he's always going around as her. But still, it's okay.
Like every time he eats or drinks something, he has to turn.
Yeah, he's like, "Whoa, hold on, I gotta check." Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are still on board.
I don't know if this was my favorite section, but it's definitely up there. I was pretty surprised by how much I like this
section a lot too. I like how
the thing I like most is we go.
I was gonna say my favorite thing is Hisami and the interactions. I am sad she's gone, but I mean no one's ever really gone, so I don't know. But
this is not true.
I mean you say that, but also I liked all that dynamic, and I like that it got away from. I just like how out there it goes. It introduces so many weird things. Like it could have, like I said, it could have gotten repetitive if it was just like another time period city, him hanging out, not gonna show up. Instead, it's like it addresses fucking reincarnation, the idea of like cults and religions forming around him experiencing like isolation, going decades and decades trying to learn stuff, satiating his boredom, like coming to terms with like, you know, forgiving like past wrongs and hatred and stuff, and like it tackles a lot of like weird, interesting dynamics that I felt were a bit lacking on Jananda, which had like some stuff, but it was more like the characters. This one like comes more into like the weirdness of the whole situation and what can happen over a crazy time span. Yeah,
I was particularly impressed just how unique this felt. Especially the stretch with Hisami, where they have this crazy conceptual conflict where he's like, okay, it's my enemy's soul, but not her memories, and she's a leader of a warrior cult, but also a little girl, and I'm trying to get her to take an alien out of her arm, but she doesn't want to, and I might be able to like trick her and have the doctor do it,
and wants
she's
to have
hanging
my
out with
babies.
me, but she doesn't know how to do that, and neither do I. And I just found myself continually thinking, I have never seen anything in a story that felt anything like this. It felt so unique.
You know, the only thing I can think of, it wasn't even like they're similar stories, but the excitement I felt reading this stretch of like the intrigue and like interested feeling I got, the only thing that kind of reminded me of it was like when I started Mushoku Tensei, and it was like it was also like very similar.
That's fair.
It was also very unique, you know, situations where it's like this 40-year-old Japanese man in the body of a child, like, you know, like doing all these weird things, like having to deal with like having a dad who's younger than him and like perving on his magic instructor and getting over his weird like neat thing. Like it was also very unique situations I haven't seen in other places. So far we had said, of all the other arcs, we always said like there was nothing super new. It was just like a well done collection of like kind of tried and true tropes and archetypes. This is where it becomes like a unique property, essentially, where it's like you're not going to find a story quite like this.
Yeah, Mushoku is a fair comparison, and not because they felt similar, but it did also remind me of Hunter x Hunter. Mm-hmm. Just in that the show is so good at establishing, or I keep calling it a show, the story is so good at establishing conflicts. where there's just so many different ways it can go, and there's so many little nuances where it's not just win or lose. There's 5 different ways one person can win, and there's 5 different ways another person can win, and you just don't know how it's going to land. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and what I also like is that now we sort of have the counterpoint to Fushi being treated as a divine being, with people considering the belief in him as heresy, and now they are hunting him. And
that's right. He has a bounty on him.
Followers as well, so now we have like another added dimension.
And people are kind of right to be scared of him, because I mean the Knockers will deliberately attack large settlements, even if there's a gang to like try and protect, which is lucky on his side. Still, it's like if he just was dead, that wouldn't be happening.
Very few people have survived knowing him.
No,
so...
exactly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, well, I'm excited for the next stretch a lot. Should we talk about
stretch a lot?
I think we should
talk about Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
Speaking of stretching,
man, what the fuck happened?
Did something happen?
Is that a serious question?
Yes. What the fuck happened? It became good. It became.
Oh my god!
Could it have become really, really good?
I mean, I've been saying the entire time the Biscuit Hammer's biggest strength and its best moments come from the sort of community and the mix of zany characters. And now they're all together, so now the story is actually starting. Ignore that stuff with the older sister and the underwear and the dog knight dying on the ground. We don't even know who he was. Now we're actually doing stuff.
I still stand by my, like, albeit somewhat aggressive, but still, I was genuinely, like, disappointed in those first, like, 15 chapters, because I just felt like they were just, like, it was like a 5 out of 10, just like, I was like, there's, like, mildly interesting stuff here, but I felt it was marred by so much of the execution. Here, so much stuff is like way better in the stretch for me. I don't know. First of all, just get out of the way that the artwork has improved noticeably. Like he has gotten much more confident, and he's given like these sharp, more angular look to everyone. It reminds me at various points. It reminded me of Simon Dowman, like Voynich Hotel and all that stuff.
Yes.
At certain points, and I was like, in a good way, and I was like it makes everything more stylish. Like he's developing more. You can see this where he's like developing more of a style. He's also had like much more interesting backgrounds, compositions.
Yeah,
cool.
Background is more.
Yeah, some drawings in here are impressive, and even the standard ones are like getting much more consistent moment to moment. Like it's. That immediately is like plus points for me. But then, man, every chapter was like really interesting. Like, I really like all the characters now. And there were so many. It was like there was for like the entire stretch of it almost. I was like, man, that was the coolest like side story character thing I've ever seen. Then I would read the next one, I'd be like, oh my god, that was the coolest. That was the coolest one I ever read. And then I get the next one, I'd be like, wow.
Most interested in? Would you say?
I'm trying to remember, because there was like so much. This was like
because the big things. I guess the big back flaps. What the fuck am I saying?
I don't know.
There's the horse knight talking about how he abandoned his job.
Yeah, that's right.
There's also the girls talking about how the master saved them.
That was the highlight for me. Probably was. Gosh, at least of that volume. These were like two. This was like volumes 4 and 5. Yeah, of the stuff to do with the knights, like the swordfish guy is like the coolest dude.
That's like a really almost like a Musashi-esque story.
And it was also very oh man, it reminded me of a really specific it was very like Bakano or kind of like FMA too, with like Von Hohenheim, but it wasn't either of those. It reminded me of like a third like some cool like immortal
an unfair one
story.
Is that I think of as Gantz. because Gantz did this very strange thing where Gantz was already a high concept sci-fi situation, but then it would just have weird reality bending things that existed that had nothing to do with the main story. There's a section in Gantz where vampires just show up, and they're just vampires. Like, they have nothing to do with the aliens. Vampires just exist independently, coincidentally in this world, and happen to walk in on the alien death game.
It's really annoying.
And he does that a few times.
Remember the example? It's like some story where it turns out one of the characters has like been alive for a really long time, and it's like a really emotional like scene where you see like through the ages, but I can't remember because I'm dumb.
Damn,
it'll come to me.
Sorry.
We were getting interesting stuff. I like the one. I like all the little interactions were like really funny to me now. Like I really like all the conversations with the animals. I like the chick squabbling with her snake and being embarrassed of her cosplaying. The horse is really funny. Like when
it gets turned into a unicorn.
Yeah, when he holds his phone, he doesn't allow men to ride him. He fucking runs alongside the police car. He's like, "Do not be alarmed. I'm a fucking horse."
And then he just asks his partner, who can't see the horse, "Hey, do you happen to know how fast horses can run?"
But she
just
can
for
see
no reason.
But she can see the future, so it's cool. Yeah.
That's like slightly weird that like the little precognition.
And then
thing.
the guy also has that
the
swordfish guy.
Knight.
Yeah.
He's literally omniscient. He knows everything.
Yeah.
Except after his death.
That's right.
And his whole thing is he goes through life knowing what's going to happen, but then still being surprised just emotionally, because living a moment is different than knowing that it happens.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, very Mizukami, just toss in a really conceptual, I don't know, solipsism thing. It was cool. I like how the Horse Knight, he gives his backstory and he just looks at the younger characters and goes, "Wait, did you think I had been unemployed my entire life?"
Yeah, that's right. That was right at
unemployed
the
for like
audience.
a year.
There's a lot of really clever like little jokes and stuff like that.
His saying is he can't take one or two characters and milk them endlessly. He just needs a bunch of people that he can jump back and forth between with a bunch of little quirks. Well, once he has a squad where he can have like the Greek chorus thing going, then he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like in terms of funny scenes, there's the one where the Crow Knight is at Yuri's apartment and is lamenting the fact that the other, like the two of the other knights are like living across from each other and can visit each other so rapidly, and then Samidara just shows up out of nowhere in the room.
Yeah,
through the window.
She bumps in and is like, "Help me with my homework." And he's like, "Et tu, Brutus." Yeah.
It was kind of cute when, Samidari is just being a brat, but she, runs away from home by just jumping across the ledge.
That's right.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Can I stay here?" And the main character, his brain just flashes with all the sexy scenarios
he's bleeding profusely from his nose.
He immediately imagines her walking in, or him walking in on her in the shower, and her going "Kya!" And he's just dripping blood all over the floor.
Also, isn't it weird how the horse guy's detective friend was like bleeding out of her nose when she saw the pictures of his son? That was
very weird into his young son.
Like that kind of humor just
like
really
that.
got to me in this section. Like her with the balloon, and then he's got the balloon. They're like, "What's the balloon for?" And it's like, I don't know. I just felt like having a balloon. It's like, why would you put that in your manga?
Yeah. Well, what do you think about Samidari's backstory, where she resents her mom for going on an adventure to cure her bonitis?
It was emotional.
And never being around.
It got to me. That scene where her sister breaks down when she says sorry for being born, and her sister slaps her, and then they're both crying. I mean, that made me. I teared up a bit. Yeah, it was a good scene. I definitely. I feel bad now for how mean I was, but
you should.
Well, you agreed with me somewhat, though.
I was worried I was just staking my hopes on things picking up around this part, and they did.
This
so I
section
won. So
literally
I don't have to feel bad ever again.
made me like things from before more in retrospect, because some stuff got like interesting payoffs here, and like got brought back enough that it made me see it in a different light because it got like additional context to it, you know. And I was like, okay, that the thing makes more sense. Like I didn't really give a shit about like his like opining over jumping over the river early on, but that scene when he jumps after her here, that was like, fuck yeah, that made me like the initial scene more. Man,
I really like the stuff with the Cat Knight and his connection.
Yeah, oh god, I loved him. He was so fucking
the animal stuff as well.
I was gonna mention that's one of my favorite aspects of this. I think it started really picked up with the guy showing up, because I love. I'm not going to be able to even think of examples, but I love stories where like the villain is just hanging out. It's always so fucking funny to me. Like he just like shows up constantly. He's like wants to chat with people about food and just wants to like hang out. It's like that's such a funny, like interesting dynamic. It really becomes like at a certain point I was like smiling and reading this and enjoying myself so much, and I was thinking to myself, it's just become like a silly, almost like slice of life series for a bit here, and yet I'm finding it so compelling and interesting because I know the weird context, and that there are these the fact that just there are these, everyone has superpowers and there are these animals makes it funny. Like that's what I liked, like Green was saying about like Planet With. It was funny that we had all these goofy characters like arguing with each other and being silly when they're all like super robot pilots as well. Makes it really interesting because he just like takes these high concepts and then has them talk about like chopsticks. But it's like weirdly interesting. What else? I like the mouse. He's not like my favorite guy or anything, but I enjoyed his relationship with the other girl.
Mantis.
Yeah, with Mantis Chick. There was interesting stuff, world building there too, where it was like we find out stuff that you can't wish for. Yeah, and also interesting things about like the idea that knights get a certain type of person was really funny. Like that the Mantis guy gets like really like fearless people, and then the guy's like, well, what kind of people do you get? It's like cowards. It's like that sucks. Yeah. And then she uses her wish to just like murder a guy. Yeah, and then it's like in the middle of this like cutesy scene where they're just like eating, and I was like, damn, there was some really good page turns in this. Like there was some really interesting like page turns. I love the one where the guy's like, how is Anima? And then to turn and she says, I ate her, and stuff like that. There's some really good faces. Yeah,
they do introduce the Anima, I don't even know what to call her, the princess, the greater scope.
It was confusing for a second. I wasn't sure if she was like, if he was doing like a doubling effect where they were like the same person, but she was like switching between appearances. But then no, they're just like two separate entities like at the same time, even though they're both kind of like the same. They're both kind of the princess. But I mean, I guess it's supposed to be weird, obviously.
This is kind of a prelude to Spirit Circle, where there are reincarnation shenanigans as part of this world. And it's like a cyclical time thing. It's not remotely to the degree of Spirit Circle, but there was a lot
of Spirit Circle stuff in here. They keep mentioning too, like, because these aren't the first X Knights people have had. Like there's been many Knights, and also the guy being from the future and having like the ring eyes in Spirit Circle. There's also like weird white-haired guy from the future too, who like that reminded me of that. Yeah, her form is a lot. I think he does that in most of his manga. He puts in like a magical sort of like ethereal girl. Like there's one in Spirit Circle who hangs around the main character's apartment. There's this one. There's like the weird, not quite the same thing, but there was like the weird cat girl in Planet With, who also just shows up like in the guy's apartment and just lives with him. He always likes having his like extraterrestrial waifu who just shows up and is weird. And I mean, this is a good one. It's a great character design. I love that scene. That's like jumping near to the end, but I love that scene where she just shows up and wants food. And she just says the guy's noodles are shit. And the guy, the guy's like, fuck off, get out of my house. And then he starts talking about how this is his favorite brand, and he goes out of town to get it. And I was like, that's what I do for my favorite noodles. I was like, he is me. And then she teleports over the guys who can cook, and they cook for her, and she's like, it's so. But she's like, her standards are so high. That is like a really funny.
I was about to bring that up. It is funny. He teleports in Mouse Girl and the cosplay Snake Girl,
and
she's wearing a she's wearing a cosplay outfit, and of course she like covers her face like, no, I can't get married now, no. and that was funny to me because like she's not wearing anything that
it's like a belly dancer thing with like transparent pants.
She's wearing briefs under like translucent
that's silly
hammer pants or something, which is not bad. But she's gonna post this online. Like, calm down.
There was a lot of really silly, funny stuff like that. Like when they went to the diner and they have the photos of them like, do not serve fat guy and Samidare.
Well, because that's the all-you-can-eat challenge. Yes. And Samidare, the cute little girl,
and we
then
saw
the big
her
fat
photo
guy are the two that
way
can
back
eat it.
when, I think, just hers a long time ago.
Yeah, he's a fat guy. Fat guy is like one thing that this story is really good about. It handles the age differences of the characters very well, where it doesn't smother the younger characters. It's not like the older characters are the wise, mature ones that are, constantly saving the fuck ups that are the younger characters. But they do have the older characters be a little savvier and a little more proactive and just a little more responsible.
Yeah.
And they do a good job with that. Like Horse Guy immediately becomes the most powerful one other than the princess. Mm-hmm. And it almost becomes a comedy scene where he's zipping around yelling drill kick, fighting the Thane on his own, and they're just kind of watching for a while.
Yes.
Like that doesn't hold up. But
pending drill kick.
Yeah, he's like a name pending drill kick. Like he's hyper responsible in a silly but endearing way. And then they're already getting into it, like Fat Guy the cat. He's just, he's like the chess master. He's just kind of sitting back and, thinking about things and going, okay, what's the most tactical way I can use my power? What's a clever thing? Yeah. And then they even have a scene where they say the evil mage guy will talk to cat guy because mentally he's the most similar to a wizard, kind of.
Yeah, to him specifically too.
And he's creative and he likes to fight indirectly and he's very tactical.
Interested in knowledge and science and stuff.
Yeah, he's questioning the larger situation where everyone else is just kind of fighting.
Something I noticed about Cat Guy, which I was mildly proud of myself for noticing, was when he tries, he mentions his main goal for this part is called Montagen or something, which means Monday. And he mentions he had one before called Sunday, and now he tries to recreate the seven-eyed big dinosaur thing, and the thing that comes out I noticed it had 3 eyes, and I was like, hey, this is his third one and it has 3 eyes, just like the other guy's was his 7th and had 7 eyes. So it seems to be implying that the more he makes, they'll be stronger and stronger, but he's like lagging behind the guy, which I thought was a cool touch. I just wanted to say that. I really like this guy. Like he's very interesting. I like all his little thoughtful things, but I like how he doesn't. I didn't know what to expect, but I did think he did seem like he might turn out to be evil, even if he didn't fully join sides with the other guy. It still would seem like he was, because he's hedging his bets with a lot of stuff, and he seems very calculating and conniving. But then he's like, he has the really cool thing. What's the line he says? He's something like, something about God. It's like, I'll crush the old desires yours for humanity, but I die right here, God.
For the happiness of kind, I will like crush your desires.
Yes, exactly. Like that was really cool. I like how he's just like willing to speak to the guy though. And then he has a really he's just really chill. Like I really like him. I like he's one of my favorite of the night guys.
Yeah, I think he's like one of the best characters in the among, from what I remember.
Yeah, him and
he's
the
definitely one of the most
guy were the
proactive.
MVPs.
Well, there's probably like 3 people on the team where Thanes would have been much harder if they had not stepped up early, and he's one of them. A funny thing related to that, early on when Anima first shows up, she does the pocket dimension thing where everyone is, summoned from where they are to talk to her.
To make a unicorn.
And it's funny. Yeah, and everyone is just doing something different. I like how, I have it here, fat guy is eating. Unemployed horse guy is just eating an ice cream cone. Apparently he was just standing in a park eating an ice cream cone.
That's right, yeah.
And mouse guy is cooking. The two girls are in swimsuits. And then like shitty rival wants to fight guy is wearing a 3-piece suit saying he was at work.
Yes.
Which
he keeps getting mysterious food from unexplainedly. Yeah.
Oh, and of course, cosplay girl was in cosplay, which was so bad. Like she hates to be seen in cosplay. Did you notice, like, even though it's all she does?
When she was in cosplay, next to her, the glasses chick was just kind of like sitting there and emotional because that's kind of her thing. She's like a weird sociopath. And then owl guy was like trying to not make eye contact, like looking away and blushing slightly. Where he was like, "Well, this is awkward." Yeah.
What a dork.
Yeah.
That, also with Owl Girl and Mantis.
Nice. The line width so well. Look at this. It's so cool.
Yeah, with Mantis Girl, it was interesting because she threw they get into some of their wishes, and Mantis Girl just kind of frivolously threw away her wish where she saw someone on TV. It's almost a reference to Death Note. Like I wonder if I was conscious.
And there was a Gurren Lagann reference too. There was. The anime girl had the glasses, and then he keeps. Also, I wanted to point this out too. Fucking. Horse guy's power is just the power from Tsugumomo. Like the girl.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the girl in Tsugumomo has like her sash from her kimono turns into like that foldy zigzag thing for shields, and it spins around into a drill like when he does his kick. It folds into a big shield sometimes, and like covers a wide area. Like it also is the same power in that also. So it's funny that he has like all these kind of like otaku references in his thing. The Mantis Girl, she sees a guy holding up a school or something. I don't even remember. And I don't think even to resolve the conflict, she just wishes, I wish that guy was dead. And that was her wish. Just
totally frivolous. And then the mantis failed to explain, and the mouse freaks out, saying, if you kill someone with your wish, all their karma goes on to you, you fool.
Yeah.
And so she kind of dooms herself, and then the mouse guy, it's implied that he tried to do something to stop that.
Yeah, some sort of wish to help against that.
It's, it's a very foolish thing,
The stuff
it is odd that her first impulse was, I'll just kill this random person who seems kind of shitty.
This stretch got more like...
She's very perfect.
This stretch got like darker a bit. Like it's always been, it was like a show where people would die, and there was like, I don't know, the way in the first volume, the kind of abuse that the main character was subjected to by his grandfather was very like, I don't know, very like kind of shonen and popular, where it was nothing like that dark or graphic. Here we get, it's not like crazy, but like first that thing of how dark that is, just like this girl like killing that guy, and then also they're just like riding around in a cop car and be like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna stab a kid to death with a precision knife or whatever, with a box cutter. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? When we get into this dark shit, they reference like, there was like some sexual references at some points, I forget. That they were worried about crow guy hanging out with the little girl. Like what kind of guy do you think I am? There was, it just got like kind of more mature and shy from like mentioning some more adult topics, which I always appreciate. Yes. Well, the swordfish guy is the coolest guy. He's just an immortal dude. Goes around teaching people stuff.
I'm worried a bit because he's almost a little too perfect. I could see you dismissing him as an attempt to make the coolest character ever. It helps that he just dies ingloriously off screen.
Story, but so it like even
something I like about him is that he is not like, he does have superpowers, but like it's not really his thing. He's just like a guy who happened upon something, but it's like the Akashic records themselves are like what has the power, and he's just like this guy who was just like randomly fortunate. That's what it reminded me of. It wasn't a fucking manga. It's the guy in Sandman the guy who they do a bet.
Oh, yeah.
And he meets up with him every 100 years or whatever. That's what it reminded me of so much. Like meeting up with little man. In fact, Hohenheim is probably better, but still, yes, I'm glad that's off my mind. But yeah, I mean, he says over and over again, like that's an interesting thing of like his being like his like superpowers and omniscience aren't what's interesting. It's like all the things that he learns from all the people he meets along the way, even though he knows everything that's going to happen. Yeah, and then I loved. This is a very weird thing to point out, but he is like iffy with animals. I mean, animals are tough to draw. Most if you put an animal in your comic, there are good chances you have never drawn that animal before. Like the snake looks kind of weird. The dog looked bad before. But I will say this is the best drawn swordfish I've ever seen. He really likes he really. The way he draws a swordfish is very like iconic. I don't know what it is about it. Like he gives it like these thick like brush pen lines and brush pen shading on it, and he looks very funny. And he draws him in lots of different angles and poses that it's always comical that he's just like floating around. Yep. And the scene is really good too, where the guy shows up and he's like, "Don't be scared, I'm a fucking swordfish," and he's like, "Don't worry, I've foreseen your appearance for hundreds of years." And then he's like, "Oh my god, you really are scary. Please don't point that at me. Oh god." And he's like, no, please, I'm just a goofy swordfish. I'm sad he's gone. I would have liked to see Swordfish Guy because the animals have been a very enjoyable part.
It is a clever way to.
The cockerel is like weirdly rude to Crow Guy, where he's like, "You think she's like, I don't have any money," and the cockerel's like, "You're footing the bill, pal," or something like this. The way that they like opine in the middle of stuff is funny. Yeah.
Oh, a few little things we missed. One, it's very funny that when the swordfish shows up and starts explaining to the knight, "Listen, there's a battle for the," and the knight just goes, yeah, I know. There's a battle for the soul of the earth. I already know. I know more than you. Shut up.
Yeah.
Because he's omniscient. There was a comical amount of characters standing behind other characters in this stretch and waiting for them to realize they're there or revealing they know more than the other character. A funny moment that we forgot is when the Snake Knight girl was walking by Samidari and the MC and heard them talk casually about, we're going to destroy the earth, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
and
I like that she just overhears that. It's like, I guess that's bound to happen because they're always idiots, talking about that. Yeah, they're always talking about how they're going to do that just out in public. That's really funny. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thing, like you were saying this whole time, like the character dynamic thing, but it's interesting. What makes it interesting is that they're like a team and they've spent enough time together to be like friendly with each other, but they have so many diverging agendas where like the MC, he's got this like sneaky side plan, but he's also actually does really like everyone, wants to be friends with him. We have the cat guy. He knows that the owl guy is like a weird traitor, but he's not telling anyone. The chick knows about Samidari and the main character, but she's not telling anyone. There's like the horse guy is up to weird stuff we don't know. He's not maybe he's not such a good guy. It's interesting having all these little things. And I was gonna say earlier, I think the idea of the wishes is really clever too, because the characters who don't make a wish, you're wondering what they're going to wish for. And the ones who do make wishes, it's interesting seeing all the different ones they've made, where it's like, that one just kind of frivolously used it on that. The main character has used it to save the grandfather. The snake girl asks for an interesting one where she just wants her family to die like smiling, but we don't know how that would. I mean, they could be attacked by like laughing gas. And then it's interesting too that the glasses guy does something which the others didn't think to do because it's such a tempting thing, but he's not interested in that. Like, he's not interested in using his wish for anything material or for anyone else. He just uses it to buff his own. He uses the wish to buff his own power, which is cool. yeah, I like seeing all different ways characters use the wishes or might use them is definitely a good draw. Also, there was a race between the horse and the swordfish. Look at him go.
Other little thing I totally forgot about. There is the brief scene of them all going to the beach together.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't even know if that's really meant to be canon the way it's presented.
I think that's canon.
If only he had any idea where to put the breasts on a woman, or the crotch,
or anything.
They're very in the wrong places. One thing at a time. He's got a good
you gotta work
identity.
From the bottom up. Start with the toes.
The bottom up, the butt. No, he's figured out
cool
line work and expression, and he started using brush pen and stuff. That's definitely helped, and he's gonna cool backgrounds and stuff. Now he needs to work on the anatomy a lot, but the hands are good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. But I like that they had that. I like that it splits into swimmers and non-swimmers, where the introvert, shy people are sitting under the umbrella, including MC, until Samadari grabs him.
And they're like, traitor. Yeah, she just calls him over and he just jumps in without knowing how to swim. Also, randomly, she's just like learns how to bend water. It's just like I thought the whole time her only powers were physical, because I thought that's like a cool reflection of her having spent her childhood bedridden. Now she's like super active and physical. Again, reminded me a lot of I think I said this once, but it reminds me a lot of Hikaru in Muramasa, because she's sickly and bedridden. Then her dream version is a fucking insane fighting machine who kills everything. Maybe this inspired Muramasa. Who knows?
Maybe you never know.
Never know.
Oh, and
the less
did we talk about the homeless guy?
No, he's
we don't need to get super into it, but multiple characters just happen to know this homeless man who is a kendo master, and Snake Girl buys him food or something in exchange for lessons.
She pays him. She just pays him for lessons. Yeah.
Also, he starts by saying, "Oh, I was crapping in that grass over there."
Yeah, and then the other guy steps in and crap.
Yeah, horse guy steps in crab, goes, "Oh, is there a dog here?" and just keeps walking. So
that was speaking of that homeless guy. During that scene where he was just like randomly having this weird conversation with the snake chick, it's on his backstory and having all this stuff. There were multiple points in this where the writing kind of reminded me of like Nishio-Isin a bit, like Monogatari style stuff. I don't know what it was. Like having these like little situations with these zany characters, maybe just the guy's name being like a weird back and forth palindrome. There was like certain moments. Also, the girl with the snake kind of looks like an older Nadeko. There was like this stretch gave me like kind of Monogatari vibes for some reason, especially some of the like little conversations between like the Magus and people and stuff like that. So yeah, that was an odd thing. Also, the girl, there's the Magus' sister. What? Crazy. Yeah. Remember? Hello? What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, I'm back.
I think I disconnected for a bit there. Yeah.
I couldn't hear Jaws though.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my connection broke, or whatever it was.
Oh, wait. Maybe it was Discord. Was it all three of us?
Yeah, it was Discord.
I think Discord fucked up there.
Okay. Oh, I just assumed it was Miji's fault somehow.
What?
Yeah, and the stream's still going. Okay, well, do you want to finish that final thought, I guess?
When did I cut off? Because I kept talking before I realized.
Like a minute or so. You said all these characters are beep.
The Nishio-Isin stuff.
Oh yeah. I just listed a bunch of ways in which it kind of reminded me of it. I mentioned how the snake chick kind of looks like an older Nadeko, and maybe that had me in the mindset. Yeah, this specific like dialogue between like these kind of quirky characters talking about like the kind of inane stuff, but in an interesting way was very Nishio-Isin to me. Yeah. What else goes on?
Well, we know a little bit about the contest or the game. We know that Agnes is from the future. We know that
and that they're brother and sister.
Yeah, and that's like they treat it as a game basically. That's I think all that we know about it so far.
There's people dying.
Yes,
and yet it's a game.
You think war is a game?
Yeah, author. I guess the
go.
I was gonna say we didn't really get into the. I guess we did a bit, but her mom. That was a good scene too with her. I like that MC. Like people keep saying it, but it is interesting that MC has like really become much more empathetic, and he's realizing more what it means to like be an adult from different people, like the people he's met, and he convinces her to go talk to her to her mom, and then he's like, well, I don't want to be a hypocrite, so he calls his grandfather too, which is nice. I'm coming around on whatever the fuck his name is. Yuhi.
Yeah, not Nita, but Mamma Mia.
Yes, Mamma Mia. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking forward to the next part. I'm excited for.
Yeah, we're like
for things
more than halfway done now.
I want to see.
Yeah, well, I think we're probably going to finish it in 2 bursts. This was a weird clutch of chapters because this more or less goes together, but this section, everyone's together, but the subplots have not really gotten go. This was just an eclectic mix in the middle where there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's hard to clearly group it.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, we'll just have this grab bag of stuff in the middle, and then we can probably finish it in two runs. So.
Dang.
Damn. It'll be.
Why is the princess so mean to Lizard Knight? That's the real question. She just slaps him
maybe she
away.
likes him, and this is how she expresses that.
And then, and she just randomly. I did like that section where because it got made into a unicorn and then made the guy stronger. But then when they ask him, he's just like, the horse says like there was no point to it and didn't make a difference, which is interesting. And then the main character's like,
I think what he means is like the changes to the horse himself are purely cosmetic.
Oh, okay.
Like his kicks are stronger, but the horse itself is like, there's no reason for me to look like a unicorn now. It didn't change anything.
I enjoyed that section of the main character trying to figure out like what the fuck the other animals would turn into. Also, they did a really clever little scene that was really clever framing where main character asks like who will be the next person to get the power up, and then it seems like Anima points at him, but then she's just pointing her bowl at him, asking for more rice. Like that page turn is really good. It's like, who will be next? That she points to him, and then it's like, give me rice.
Also, the last panel is Samadari's older sister looking up the stairs.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
Anima's
right.
just standing there looking down.
Yeah, we haven't really addressed the whole fact
outfit.
that this whole crazy situation that's been happening. The older sister doesn't really know anything about it. She doesn't know why the dog guy died or anything like that.
Oh yeah, she's totally in the dark. Yeah. Also, Samadari saw MC's dick, so better acknowledge that.
And he didn't even try and cover up. He was just like,
he was thrilled. Like he's wanted this for years.
He's like, it's my house, bitch.
She just jumped in, and he was standing there. He's like, yep, this is you have no excuse.
This is your future, anyway.
Yeah, he's probably just logging that away.
Also,
now I'll be able to see you later with no guilt.
She's got a little bit of a crush on him going. I mean, we had kind of bits of that before, but she was like embarrassed to see him after his after he declared to her like he would stand by her side when she went to see her mom. The next day, she was like averting her gaze. So, interesting. Could it be? Yeah.
Yeah, could the MC and the main girl potentially have chemistry?
Could the show possibly be that based in Red Pill?
I thought it was going to be like Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah,
How can it be
exactly.
that this is only happening after.
There's
35
no
chapters?
such thing as payoff. Yeah.
Oh, and as an absolute final thought, we get some cute scenes where everyone is just even the characters who are too cool for this normally are trying to name their attacks as they come up with them, and it's very cute.
Dog Guy had mentioned that way back. He had said like you got to name your powers because everyone in this universe is a fan of the Magical Girl TV show. Yeah, that's a good scene. I mean, he's probably going to name his something, and it's going to be like a really climactic moment, I bet. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, very
excited
very cool.
for these. Were all very good manga this week, and I'm excited to read
crazy
more.
how I pick the best manga every time.
I know.
Every single time.
I'm incredible.
Bye,
I'll see ya.
everyone. Drink copiously.